to be back here in Palm Beach County. I lived part of the year here with you, so I want you to know that this is my second home. So it's nice to be back here. But it's more importantly, it's nice. I've never seen Palm Beach this excited. Wow. It's about changing a country that is becoming more and more dangerous. If I were to ask you a sort of little version of Ronald Reagan's old question, are you better off today than you were 8 years ago? What would you tell me? You're making less, you're paying more taxes. You're paying a lot more taxes than you were. Something that President Clinton called crazy, that doesn't work, it's called Obamacare. That's not only taking a lot of money out of your pocket, that's taking your doctor away from you, it's taking your insurance program away from you, and it's making your health care much more expensive and much more effective, and much less effective. So in all these respects, we're worse off. Now I turn to foreign policy. When they came into office, Egypt was stable. Well, Egypt went through a revolution. It was turned over to the Muslim Brotherhood. Thank goodness General Sisi threw them out, and he's now doing the best he can to eliminate the Muslim Brotherhood, but he is not well liked or well accepted by this Obama-Clinton administration. They liked it better when they had the Muslim Brotherhood in there, and they were saying better things about Egypt when Morsi was there than they are with Sisi. Sometimes it's hard to figure out why they treat our enemies better than our friends. When Obama and Clinton came into office 8 years ago, we had the best relationship between the United States and the State of Israel that we had ever had. And we've always had a good relationship through every Republican and Democratic president. But 8 years ago, our relationship was probably at its zenith because we both understood that we're bound together now by so many things, including the fight against radical Islamic terrorism. All of a sudden on September 11, 2001, we found out what Israel was going through for 10 years and 20 and 30 years. And the two countries were bound together like this. And now we have the worst relationships with Israel than we have had since the beginning of the existence of the State of Israel. And it's not just the relationship between President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu. The approval rating of President Obama in Israel among the Israelis, and I was there 3 times this year, is about 12%. In other words, they don't trust him to have their back. They don't trust him to support them, and they believe that in creating a moral equivalency between them and the Palestinian Authority, he has undercut them. And they believe by making the agreement with Iran, he has put their existence in jeopardy. And he has. The agreement with Iran is, as Donald Trump will tell you, I'm sure, at some point during his speech, one of the worst agreements ever made. We're putting nuclear material and then nuclear weapons in the hands of a maniac, namely the Ayatollah of Iran. The man is a maniac. He wants to destroy Israel and he wants to kill Americans. So we need to change all these things and a lot more. It gets worse every year. They did this to Romney, they did it to McCain, they did it to Ronald Reagan. They don't like Republicans, they don't like conservatives, they don't like what we stand for, and they want to undercut our values. We always have known that, haven't we? Yeah. But now we have proof of it I don't know how those WikiLeaks came out. I'm not sure. I like the way it happened. I don't like the way a lot of stuff that happened against us happened. Some of it I happen to think was illegal against us. But I'll tell you what WikiLeaks does do. It proves we're not paranoid. We're right. We're right. When Donna Brazil, working for CNN, can write, I don't care what she says, that she didn't do it. I read the email. The email says, I have access to questions before the debates, and I can make some of them available to you. And then she did. And then the question was asked. You know what you call that? You call that crooked. You call that cheating. And then they get advice from the reporters. And then they give Mrs. Clinton the chance to edit her quotes. I've been in public life as a U.S. Attorney, Associate Attorney General, Mayor of New York for so long. Not only, thank you. Let's not waste time. Not only have I never been given the opportunity to change my quotes, I've never been given the courtesy of their fixing the times they misquoted me, or when a few times they did fix it, the misquote was on page 1, and the apology was on page 795, down at the bottom, in blurred type, that they retracted after 5 days of doing tremendous damage to me, and it was entirely false. Page 1 story, page 17, bottom of the page, retraction. So this has been going on for a long time, this conspiracy between the Democrats, in particular Clinton. What we need instead is a president who is not going to be beholden to $1 billion worth of money given to Hillary Clinton. And every one of those people we know, again, looking at the emails, boy, oh boy, she turned the State Department so corrupt. Pay money, get access. Pay money, get favors. Pay a lot of money, get big favors. You know what you call that? Bribery. Where do you read? Where do you read in these newspapers about these astonishing revelations on WikiLeaks? That Hillary Clinton, you read them somewhere on page 10, and where do you read something that some person with no support and no evidence alleges against Donald Trump? Page 1. Where do you read about WikiLeaks? Maybe nowhere. Now here are the astonishing things. Imagine if Donald Trump had said this. You have to have two different positions. One is the position you have in private, and the other is the position you have in public, if you're in public life. Well, I was in public life for a long time, and I always found it easy because I had one position. And sometimes I got in trouble for it because I was like the man who's going to come out here now pretty darn blunt. I had one position. It was called what I believe. When you have two positions, one in private and one in public, you know what they call that? Lying.
Hillary.
That's lying.
Hillary.
Maybe that's why the American people don't like our politicians anymore. Maybe that's why our young people don't want to aspire to politics anymore. Because we have politicians who are liars.
Liar.
She admitted it.
She's a liar.
She admitted it. She admitted it in a private speech in front of an investment bank for which she was paid $225,000. I'm not making this up. But do you see that on the front page of the Times? Hillary Clinton admits she is a liar? Subtext, for $225,000? How about in these revelations, she says that she wants open borders, open trade, and what she'd really like to see is like one big international government. Does she tell you that? Of course not. In other words, what she does is she lies to you, or she lies to the people in private for the $225,000. If she was lying to them in private for $225,000, maybe they can sue her to get their $225,000 back. These are the things that are being written, that are being suppressed. These are the things the American people are not hearing because they are trying so hard to elect her president. The things revealed over the last week in WikiLeaks confirm all our worst suspicions of the Clintons. That they lie, that they trade access and favors for hundreds of millions of dollars. How about her agreeing to give Russia 20% of our uranium? And she's making all this stuff about, Trump likes Putin too much? I don't know. He doesn't even know Putin. He never gave him 20% of the uranium of the United States. He never reset the relationship with Russia, which turned out to be a double cross of our allies, Poland and the Czech Republic. And then Putin pushed us all around the world, and she didn't do anything about it. So you got to work hard to get the news nowadays. You got to look at these news outlets and these newspapers, and you got to listen directly to the candidates, because you can't trust them. Because so many of them are in bed, in some cases financially and in some cases ideologically, that you don't get the truth anymore. You get it suppressed. Without any doubt, the most important story of the last 2 to 3 weeks have been the revelations about Hillary Clinton that confirm what all of the people have always thought about her. There's a reason 65% of the American people don't trust her, and she has proven they are right in the things that we can now read. So you go read them yourself, and don't trust the media.